वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. Hello, friends. Welcome to Season 3 of Sikh History Sakhi podcast. As always, I am Harpreet Kaur, your host. In the last episode, we discussed how guilt and shame had brought Pai Savan Malji back to Goindwal and how the merciful Lord Guru Amar Das ji, in his infinite compassion, forgave him. Friends, this moment of grace wasn't just a turning point for Pai Savan Malji. It was a reminder to all of us that no matter how far we go, Almighty's love and compassion always, always calls us home. Now, hearing of Guru Amar Das Ji's divine virtues, Raja Hari Chand, the ruler of Haripur, decided to come along with Pai Savarnmal to see Guru Amar Das Ji himself, bringing along his queens, elephants, soldiers, and courtiers. After seeking the blessings of the merciful Almighty, Pai Savan Malji said, as mentioned in Siri Suraj Prakash, आयो पूप सहत परवार सेना प्रजा सचिव संग सगरे महकी आदिक और जेदार आज्ञा रावर की अब होवे दर्शन करे सुमीपी आन. Meaning, Sache Patsha, you are the true Guru. The king of Haripur has arrived with his family, queens, elephants, and soldiers. He is a kind ruler and wishes to have your darshan. I humbly request you to bless them with your holy glimpse. Guru Amar Das ji told Pai Savarnmal ji to bring them as per the rules in Goindwal. Friends, in those times, anyone, no matter how rich or royal, who wished to meet Guru Amar Das ji had to follow a few simple yet deeply meaningful instructions. Before meeting Guruji, everyone had to eat in the Guru Ka Langar, sitting together as equals, regardless of caste, gender, or status. Therefore, when the Raja and his queens arrived, the Sikhs gently reminded them of the Guru's words, and then they all sat in langar first before seeking Guruji's darshan. Moreover, the Sikhs humbly advised that the queens should come simply dressed and without their veils, for in Guruji's presence there is no shame, only equality. And let their hearts, not their ornaments, be ready for the darshan. They reminded that Guru Amar Das ji stood against hollow rituals and customs that denied women their dignity and equality, as mentioned in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji on Ang 1349. अवल अल्लाह नूर उपाया कुदरत के सब बंदे एक नूर ते सब जग उपजया कौन भले को मंदे. Meaning, every human being is created in equality by one creator. From the same Almighty, the entire creation has been created. Then whom can anyone say is good or bad, is higher or lower? Dear friends, in those days, this was not a small instruction or advice. Women of royal families were forbidden to show their faces. They lived behind the parda or veil, unseen and unheard. But Guru Amar Das ji stood firm against such customs. He taught that no one is higher or lower, and before the divine, all the souls are equal and one. However, when the Raja and his queens, though simply dressed, went for Guruji's darshan, among the queens, one refused to remove her veil. She insisted on keeping it, saying she could not show her face before anyone. When Guruji saw this, with deep calm and divine authority, he said, as mentioned in Siri Suraj Prakash, Satguru बोले सहज सुबाई ए कमली किस कारण आई जे हमरो darshan न पाए. Meaning, Guruji said in his humbleness, why has this foolish woman come here when she does not want my darshan? Friends, in that very moment, something strange happened. The queen lost her senses. Her mind was completely overtaken by confusion and despair. She ran into jungle, screaming wildly, as if she had gone actually mad. Such is the power of divine words of Almighty. Their words hold great power, and in her pride and foolishness, that queen went against his hukam and lost her senses. Now, days passed. The king's men searched every forest path, every riverside, every hidden corner of Goindwar. But the queen was nowhere to be found. No one knew where she had gone. Some said she wandered through the forests, talking to herself, living off scraps of leftover langar. Her once royal presence now lost in dust and silence. The people of Goindwal had grown frightened of her. The Raja, heartbroken and ashamed, tried everything he could to find his queen, but exhausted and sorrowful, he decided to return to Haripur, taking Pai Savan Malji along with him. Though he returned without his queen, he was not the same man anymore. The grace of Guru Amar Das Ji's wisdom had touched his heart. He had become a devoted Sikh, his heart carrying both regret and reverence. Far away in the forest, the lost queen remained, alone, frightened, and forgotten by the world. Friends, this was over 5 centuries ago, a time when women had no means to live on their own, separated from her home, family, and all she once knew. She wandered. A tragic reminder for us that how pride can blind us from grace. Now, in Goindwar, there lived a humble Sikh whose life just revolved around Seva and Simran, as mentioned in Siri Suraj Prakash. जाप मंतर कछ जप न जाने सेवा करन बिखै हित ठान सच्चन सच बके इक मुख ते दूजी बात धरै ना कान उठत बैठत आवत जाते बन में पुर में सब ही थान. Meaning that humble Sikh was so devoted to his selfless service that anything Guruji or anyone said to him, he would gently reply, Sach and Sach, which meant that true, true, and happily he would perform any task. Over time, this phrase, Sachan Sach became his very name, and he came to be known as Bhai Sachan Sach. Bhai Sachan Sach would spend his days collecting firewood for Guru's langar. As his daily routine, one day he went into the jungle to collect firewood. Now, while he was gathering the firewood, he was suddenly attacked, scratched, and bitten by a wild, mad woman with tangled hair and torn clothes. Friends, it was her, the same lost queen, roaming in madness for months. Then suddenly she fled back into the forest, leaving Bhai Sachan Sach bruised and scared. Tune in next Tuesday to know what happens next. I hope this brings some peace to your hearts. Thank you.